Hello world, hello world. Welcome back to my channel, Call Me Biz. George Carlin on the Chris Rock show. I forgot Chris Rock had a talk show. Another thing, I apologize. You know when I'm always doing like this hierarchy of comedians, right? I always forget Chris Rock for some reason. And to be honest, Chris Rock was my first favorite comedian. You know what I'm saying? He used to have No Sex in the Champagne Room. He had dope movies. We used to watch Chris Rock all the time, man. And then, came Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence then became my second favorite. Of course, Eddie Murphy was always around, but he was never a favorite of mine until I got older. But when I was young, Chris Rock was that guy. You feel me? He played Pookie. Chris Rock was always that guy, man. Chris Rock, Chris Tucker. But Chris Rock specifically for his stand-up, I always felt like he was always talking real stuff. To be honest, he is kind of like a George Carlin when it comes to like social commentary. So shout out to Chris Rock, man. I never gave him his flowers. So it's gonna be interesting to see Chris Rock talk to George Carlin. Another thing I want to say about George Carlin, the reason why I stopped doing clips is because the clips that are out, I guess it's just me, I'm not sure where clips are coming from. People are gonna request the most popular ones. If you see, I've done so many George Carlin, and what's happening is when I go search for clips, right, people are naming the same clips different titles, so let's say if I watch something like a year ago, I'm not gonna remember it word for word, so I run into the risk of probably like watching the same thing over again, which is comedy, it's fine, but I don't think it's fun for what I do, you feel me? But I do have one I gotta get to. I think it's I love when people are always dying or something like that. One of my subscribers always put it up and I just never get to it, but I will get to it. I got you, all right? Look, if you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like the video, leave a comment, all right? No more ghost watching. This is gonna be interesting. I love stuff like this. I love watching these guys do interviews.
My next guest has been doing comedy for over 40 years. He's done 10 HBO specials. He has a best-selling book called Brain Droppings. Please welcome George Carlin.
I need that book. Remind me in the comments that I need that book.
I did 2 more while I was back there.
Okay. George Carlin.
Good to see you, my friend.
Okay. George Carlin, you are by far, you're easily one of the greatest comedians ever to live.
All right.
Easily.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, yeah.
People take you for granted in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, because like you and a guy like, say, Cosby, because you've always been doing it forever. And like, do you feel that, say, like if you had some crazy tragedy in your life, people wouldn't take you for granted? Because, like, Pryor burnt up.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce died, Kimmison died, and you're like right here chilling.
The penalty of living.
The penalty of living.
Well, what happens a lot of people say,
so
hey,
true,
how you doing? How you been? I love that stuff. 1972, I saw you. Like, oh yeah, well, last 25 years, been some more. So I bring them right up. I say, you watch HBO? Did you get the book? Do that, and then we'll talk some more in the airport. But yeah, you do want people to know the accumulated record. Not just a spotty little this and that.
Yeah, because people are like, Carlin. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. So there's other people that are hooked in good,
right.
Hooked in real strong, and then they'll tell you back what you did, and you say, oh, I don't remember that. Well, you did it, and I saw it.
Okay, now one of your biggest things ever was the 7 words you can never say on television. It was
I seen that.
Piss, shit.
You want the right order?
What was the order?
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
You can say all of that shit now.
Said fuck twice. I know. Motherfucker shouldn't count because it's a derivative of fuck, but I put it in anyway.
Yeah, because when you put mother and fucker together, it's just...
It's a better word.
Yeah, it's
It's an advanced
faster
word.
than a motherfucker.
That's right.
Nothing jumps higher, nothing stronger.
Samuel L.
Now, you know what's weird? Now you can say tits now a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. See, that's just it. And the interesting thing was you couldn't say tits, but you could say bazooms. You could go like this. You could say knockers. You could say knobs, but tits, and it's a cute word.
You can say because tits are cute.
It sounds like a
But they
snack.
won't let you say titty.
No. It's a strange. You know why? You know why I have all that inconsistent stuff? Because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit to start with. You know, they can talk about fucking. You can talk about fucking. You can say, you know, you're gonna, and everybody goes, I know what he's talking about. Or in the newspaper, they can say F ... Well, everybody knows what it means, so the thought has been conveyed, and that's all language is. And you know, I don't say fuck. It's a family newspaper. How do you think the family got started? Fucking. That's what it is.
That's a fact. Yo, you talking facts.
You know what's wild? Now, you did the seven words you can't say. Is there anything you can't say now?
I don't know.
That gets people.
I got what I like to do. I like to bother people. I like to find out where the line is, sort of sense where the line is drawn, and then deliberately cross it, and drag the audience with you, and have them happy that you did it. That's the key. Once you get them over there, they say that was good.
That's what Louis does. That's what Louis
I'm doing my next HBO a year from December, about 13 months from now, and I'm just working on things because there's one taboo in this country, I think, religion, and I really am all out attacking religion every chance I get because I just don't believe in that stuff. I think it's the worst thing that ever happened to mankind, and I get after them all the time. But that's not the only thing. Kids in this country, there's too much attention to children in this country. Every time you turn around, it's kids, and they're hiding behind kids because all they're trying to do is censor you again and take your drugs away in the name of their kids. In the name of the kids, they're trying to roll back the '60s, man. So I get after them, and I like to get in there and just bother them a little bit. There's got to be some thought with it. It's not just shock them and do that. You have to have some thought and some ideas underneath it, but then just to make them go like this a little bit in their chairs. That's what I like. Oh, yeah. That's important to me.
It might not be you. It might be a loose disc.
Yes, that's all right. Well, I'll loosen it up a little more.
You know what's bugged out? You came up 50s, 60s. Doing this edgy stuff, and I was like, did you feel alone at the time? Because I'm like I remember the old Dean Martin roast, and like your crew, like your contemporaries are guys like Alan King and other guys doing like "Take My Wife Please" jokes and stuff.
Right. Yeah, the old line stand-ups. Yeah. Well, I came out of coffee houses though. I got lucky. I came out of coffee houses and folk rooms.
Alan King's cool before he shoots me or something. But
I came out of places where irreverence was a part of the deal. Coffee houses and folk rooms. You know, the whole idea there was to be a little bit anti-establishment, to be a little bit against the stream. You know, so I came out of that and always felt comfortable being alone. Always felt good as a kid. Loved it when my mother didn't come home on time. Boy, I'd say, oh, this is nice, man. I'll make some spaghetti and listen to the Lone Ranger, you know? To be alone is good. And I never really took part in show business. I'd show up. I didn't really contribute, you know, like they'd put me in the bunny number. You had to do the variety shows and they get you in the bunny number at the end. I had to do a little of that, but once I turned the corner, I left.
Yeah, I mean, when you were around like bad comedy.
Yeah.
Not even bad comedy, just that other shit.
Yeah, right. That big lane thing.
There's this thing you do, and then there's that other shit.
That's right. And I lived through, the hardest years of my life were the 3 or 4 years when I was doing straight mainstream bullshit television shows because I thought I wanted to be like a Danny Kaye or something. My dream from a kid was still like that. I wanted to be in the movies and go like this for people. Yeah. And I didn't know that my head.
Like this?
I didn't know my head was different. I didn't understand that. I thought if I thought about it at 9 years of age, it must still be valid when I'm 21. But it wasn't. And I finally, boom, that clicked in from the acid. Thank God for acid.
So all that hard work stuff is bullshit.
It don't hurt.
Acid. Somebody give me some acid right now. You know, I got people around here to get me shit, but no one ever gets me acid.
But I'll tell you this. That's why they put it on that list of bad drugs, because they know it opens up the mind. It can be dangerous. I ain't saying it's not dangerous in some way. You take too much, take the wrong kind.
Where do you get your acid from?
I don't.
Because I want the good stuff.
I don't need it anymore because it's a self-limiting drug. It's the kind of drug that you take it a few times and it tells you, that's enough, we're cool, now we're happening. And that's what happened to me.
As opposed to
shit like this and shit like that. And
like this?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you shoot up directly in the neck to get it to your head quicker.
Or so you hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "Oh, so you hear."
In the neck?
Well, the temple would be quick, wouldn't it? Right in the temple. No waiting, no delay. I never did shoot up, so I'm just talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
I never did. No, I grew up in a neighborhood with plenty of smack in the 50s and never got to the smack. The grass was enough. Boy, I'd get some of that grass and a couple of beers and just lay back and wonder why those guys were puking. That's all I needed. No, never did shoot up.
You gotta know your limits.
What's the worst thing that happened to you? What, like, just opening up? What you know? I never heard the George Carlin horror stories.
Well, I did an awful lot of cocaine during the 70s. When I did that stuff, I did tons of it. Yeah, tons. Yeah, well, you knew that shit. And I just would get out there, and my jaw wouldn't work, you know?
Jaw.
You know how locked up
I know crackheads whose jaws don't work.
you get like that, man. And you know what you're thinking is good. Fortunately, they liked me, and they would wait, you know, for my mouth to start working. But I don't have any of those. I'm not one of those guys that has a story. You know, like every comedian, like these old guys, especially you meet, and they say, you mention a name, and they say, oh, let me tell you about Al Jolson. And they got a story for everything. I got no stories because I don't remember a goddamn thing, man. I remember nothing.
Thank you very much.
Good. My pleasure. Thank you, man.
Man, you gotta give it to George, man. George is a cool dude, man. George is a really cool dude. He just I feel like the older he got, the more sick he was of people's shit. Till by the end he was just like, man, fuck all this shit. All this shit is stupid. Yo, for real. Yo, with drugs, you gotta know your limit, man. The most experimental I ever got was, you know, weed brownies. I know how to make some weed brownies for sure. I don't do that shit no more, but like that shit is edibles. That shit is different. I'm surprised people are just like doing edibles like crazy. That shit is different. Or maybe I was doing it wrong. That's like I had a bad trip immediately. Like that shit. It was bad, like from the beginning, nigga. Like that shit never got better. Yo, that's a great duo. You see how he was talking about, like, you know, you gotta say something uncomfortable, but it really needs to have like real substance underneath it. I feel like that's what makes an intelligent, dark comedian instead of just somebody that's just saying dark shit just to get like a shock factor. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but you know, George Carlin is more of an intellectual. You could tell like everything he say is really like it's really thought through. Like he really thought about it, and you know, and he actually really have real thoughts and feelings about said subject. And these are things that are really bothering him. So that's dope, man. Yo, shout out to Chris Rock, man. Chris Rock has some great questions. You know, you could tell he's a fan of George Carlin. And it's true. George Carlin's era of comedians were, you know, very tamed. You know, even he mentioned Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, like, you know, he was hard on other black comedians, and he hated rappers. He hated anything that was edgy. You know, he was just like this you know, this straightforward, you know, dad, you know, type guy. But you know, I'm glad we got some edge, you know, facts. See, I love stuff like this. Stuff like this, I feel like you could only get from great interviews, you know. It's not the stage person, it's more so of the person. I enjoyed that, you know. But yes, I do have more George 10 specials, Jesus. And that was then, you know. He went on to have more after that. So, you know, that's amazing, man. That is amazing. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Also, let me know what's next from George Carlin. I got you. Also, what's next from Chris Rock? Shout outs to Chris Rock, all right? And if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know that you were here. I do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. And guess what, y'all? Better. Peace.